Welcome to Roofing Road Trips, the podcast that takes you on a thrilling journey across the world of roofing. From fascinating interviews with roofing experts to on-the-road adventures, we'll uncover the stories, innovations, and challenges that shape the rooftops over our heads. So fasten your seatbelts and join us as we embark on this exciting roofing road trip. Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Ellsworth here at rooferscoffeeshop.com. And today I am here with Erick Sharp from ACE Laboratories. Hi, how are you, Erick?
Hi, Megan. Doing well. Good to be here with you.
Yeah, so glad to be chatting with you and to learn all about the history of ACE Laboratories. So I'll just let you take it away and have you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your journey with ACE.
Yeah, so my name's Erick Sharp, like you mentioned, and kind of been in industry for a little over 20 years, mostly, background in the engineering side of things, and used to be, a consumer of laboratory services for most of my career. And then came the day where the company I was working for was getting acquired by a big corporation, and I'd kind of gone through that route once before in my career of going to corporate life and didn't really like it. And so I figured, hey, all those times where I had to use third-party lab services wasn't always the best experience. And so maybe there's a way to do that better. So took that as a focus, and in January of 2015 founded what is now ACE Laboratories. And it's been quite a journey along the ways of first starting up, incubation wise. We were really polymer centric starting out, dealing with, the raw materials of, anything that polymers go into. Obviously, one of those end applications was roofing and construction type products. But overall, polymers went across everything, and we kind of started expanding from there. And then we really went hardcore into the construction side outside of just material support, but actually application testing in 22 when there was a company by the name of Momentum Technologies that was a lab down the street from us that had been doing construction servicing testing for a number of years, and they were liquidating, and all of their team actually came available in the market. And so the know-how is the number one avenue to get into something. And, there were some really knowledgeable people that came available. And so that's when we built out our construction application testing lab, where now we're actually testing, roofing products for application. Still, a lot of it was polymer centric, but we're able to actually test end products for the construction market. So it's been a fun expansion over the last couple of years as well.
Wow, that's amazing. So you started in 2015, so almost 10 years. That's exciting.
Yeah, 10-year birthday in January. So.
Oh, wow. Coming up, kind of. Little under a year. So what would you say sets ACE Laboratories apart, specifically in the roofing sector?
Yeah, so two things for certain. So anytime any industry that we deal with ask, what sets ACE apart, I always say service as the first thing, because that is really the problematic issue that I experienced as a consumer of lab services that I set out to fix in founding this company, was having a laboratory that actually understands service, which is able to be obtained through putting in proper systems internally to give you those efficiencies and allow you to be able to be responsive and interactive with your customers. And so being that we were able to found this from the ground level up, we were able to instill those systems as we've scaled it to allow that efficiency and responsiveness that is out there. That's been really key in allowing us to grow in the polymer space. And then as soon as we got into the construction space and started doing, voice of customer surveys, we found that, the number one feedback that customers were looking for is better service, more responsiveness out of laboratories. So that actually fit perfectly well with what our whole mantra was on the polymer side. It's been a really good synergy for us. The other unique that we bring to the table is because we started in polymers, we really understand the materials, so not just the end product. So if something goes wrong with the end product in testing, we actually understand how it can be helped and what options are there to actually reformulate and make that product be able to work. So we actually understand, the materials as well as the application, which is very unique in the construction and
Yeah.
roofing space. So definitely want to use that to our advantage.
Yeah, no, that's definitely very unique and important, kind of overlooked a lot of the time. And I know you all work with the Cool Roof Rating Council, and sustainability is, a big focus of y'all. So how does how do you prioritize sustainability in the roofing solutions that you create?
Yeah, so we deal with sustainability on a lot of different fronts. One of the cool things about being involved on the material side is that we get to see a lot of new technologies, especially because we are an
Yeah,
independent party lab. So, stuff gets sent to us for screening. So, as people are developing new sustainable materials, they often send them to us and say, hey, compare them to incumbents that aren't maybe as sustainable and see how they stack
yeah,
up to see if this is going to work. And so we get to screen a lot of new technologies in the sustainable space through that. And the fact that we are attached with material and in this industry, we're able to kind of bridge that gap of saying, hey, this material looks really good in this type of application. And recently, we just had one that was specifically the roofing application. We're like, hey, this is a fantastic positioning into this type of industry because it does really good on weatherability, really good sustainable aspects, and so we're able to kind of position it in there. So we deal a lot with things like taking ground recycled tires and being able to put that back into product. We've done that with some of the roofing
oh,
pieces
very cool.
where they extract the recycled carbon black out of tires and use it to make roofing membranes with. So that's been like a fun project like that. There's also other recycled like fillers that can go into roofing membranes and stuff too that we've seen that we've utilized. A lot of movement towards like alternative oil feedstocks that go into these polymer systems that are going on the roofs. Um, like plant-based oils now taking priority over hydrocarbon oils. And so we've been doing a lot on helping those be able to get approved into these type of applications, which has been really exciting. And so we do a lot of that for customers, but we also have what we call kind of like our skunk works here. We got this awesome sandbox of capabilities, the toys to play with. So we always get
Yeah.
by new technologies and we're like, hey, can it do this, can it do that, and so we do quite a few projects internally where we're kind of deriving off of technologies and understanding new ways to use them in applications, and then being able to kind of help roll them out where we can see an opportunity for it to fit into. And I'd say probably 80% of the projects that we do skunk work wise are probably sustainable focused, just because
Oh,
internally
that's so good to hear.
our passion point internally a lot. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a great passion to have.
yeah.
So when you are testing these products, sustainable or otherwise, what are some of the tests that you run?
Yeah, so depending on the application that we're doing, but let's say we're testing like an alternative filler in a vegetable plant-based oil to go into these roofing membrane, let's say. So what we would evaluate both on how we actually make the product, so actually mixing the raw stock and countering it out to make the membrane, so we would, evaluate the processability of it. Does that, if it goes to a customer that's making membrane, is it still going to go down their line and process the same way without them having to reconfigure everything? And then when we
Yeah.
get to the end application, that's where we're using some of our more day-to-day type testing capabilities we have here. The actual ASTM and ISO call outs for these types of materials and applications. And so we have a full kit and caboodle that we're able to test to for that. We are an ISO IEC 17025 accredited lab, so we do all the certification testing for all these types of products that go into application. And also accredited with Miami-Dade as well, so we're able to kind of
Okay.
know what specifications that we should be putting these things through, the paces, to kind of compare and see that it would actually meet what the customer needs.
Wow. So this is kind of an offshoot question, but how many products would you ballpark that you test maybe in a year?
Uh, wow, that's a tough question. I would say so.
I know.
Work order wise, we probably do about, let's see, about 10,000 work orders. In that space.
Wow.
So yeah, there's quite a few products, and sometimes those work orders will have, could have up to 10 to 12 products on them sometimes. So
Wow.
yeah, we have a lot of products coming through the lab on a regular basis, and to me, that's part of the exciting part of what we do, because we are an independent lab again. So we kind of get to see everything come through here, and it's various different types of technologies, applications, things that we never even knew existed until they show up at our door. Like, well, that's a unique application, So uh,
Yeah.
keeps things fresh and fun. And sometimes they show up and it's a new concept, it's a new application, and there isn't an established testing protocol yet. Those are the fun ones too, I think, where you're like, okay, what is this product going to see in a lifetime? What's the typical
Yeah.
stuff that it's be exposed to, the type of burning it's going to see, the lifetime it's supposed to last, what can it come in contact with? And then we got to find a way to simulate all of that in an accelerated
Mhm.
fashion. But that's the fun stuff from the engineering side. So I am an
Yeah.
engineer
Got to get
in the
creative.
part, So
Hey, I think that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Um, so what are some highlights, any or environmentally friendly practices that ACE Laboratories has implemented with some of these tests that you run?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, both from a service standpoint and even environmental standpoint, efficiency is
Yeah.
always front of mind in every process that we set up. And we take that to mind too for our customers and their processes, and what can we do to help
Okay.
streamline their product performance and their processes that do that. Always prioritize green alternatives, from a material standpoint that could be had there. And from a more granular level of day to day, obviously, we operate our facilities with all the things that we can, from energy efficient lights to soft starts on our equipment and things, just to try to limit demand and response from our power draws and things like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it really shows just the sheer amount of innovation, all the products you're testing, all the practices you're putting into place, the sheer amount of innovation that's coming from the industry, and the importance of sustainability. That's so huge. It's really great to hear that so many of these products you're testing and all these things you're implementing are like sustainable and new too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been exciting to see, the products that we're receiving become more and more focused on sustainability. Just over the 10
Hmm.
years that we've been around, we've seen dramatic increase in products that are more focused towards sustainability. And, roofing industry, the polymer industry, they're both kind of old
Yeah.
industries, and so they're slower
Yeah.
to move. But it seems like the momentum that we've seen over the last 5 years has been exponential over what we've seen the previous, 15 to 20. So it seems to really
That's
be
great.
picking up lately, which is exciting to see.
That's really great. That is really exciting. And the cool roofs kind of play into that too. So What's your involvement with the CRRC, the Cool Roof Rating Council, and maybe why are you involved?
Yeah, so I think the what the Coal Roof Rating Council has going on is really neat, in their total understanding of how these products affect not only the efficiency of the building that they're on, but the surrounding buildings and the heat island of itself that's created.
Right.
So the science that's gone into it, I definitely appreciate. And it's been fun to be a part of. So the team that we brought over, they were heavily involved in Cool Roof Rating Council. So we immediately worked on getting that set up here. And so now we got, some of our team members that are part of their technical committee, some of them that are
Okay.
on their wall rating committee. I'm one of their educators. We also have the most trained technicians that are certified by the CRC out of any labs out there. So we've really put a
Oh, wow.
emphasis on being able to do the Coal Roof Rating Council work. So we've equipped ourselves both with our team and our setup to do that. We understand that when people are submitting for CRC accreditation, that they most likely have opportunities at hand. That all they need is that approval and that number to really get the commercialization. So turnaround time and speed is needed, as well as an understanding of the methodologies and why those methodologies are in place. So we've
Yeah.
definitely taken a priority in making sure that we have the staff capacity, the equipment capacity, and the understanding needed, because we want to position ourselves to be the top choice for any CRC testing.
Oh, that's great. Would you say that that is a pretty big majority of the products that you test are like CRRC approved or verified products or
Not a majority as a whole of the lab, just because there's so many
yeah,
different applications that are out there.
right.
But as CRC continues to grow, I mean, they've just a couple years in on the wall rating side, so it's really just picking up the momentum. They're getting ready to get into some of these renewal aspects of it, and I know they're currently evaluating pavement as well as another measurement piece for that. So as the program continues to grow, we plan to continue to grow in it and watch it grow as a bigger segment of our business. So hopefully one day it will be the biggest that's out there.
Yeah. That's exciting. So, are there any projects or initiatives that we should be excited about coming from ACE Laboratories and CRRC?
Yeah, so I mean, I think as they continue, like I said, expand their programs, we want to be able to support that and help show that this type of technology can be used on measuring, solar reflectance and emittance of various products within, a heat island effect or a major city metro area, and how it can help with that. I think there's a lot of technologies when it comes to coatings and sealants and products like that are really geared around being able to help with this. And so being able to find other avenues of where they can be deployed to help that overall, I think is key for being able to do that. So we want to be a resource to help make that happen. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we do play in the skunk work side of things where we're always trying to
Right.
find new sustainable alternatives. And we got some pretty cool technologies that we're working on right now where we're actually using recycled material feed streams that are coming through from various different outlets of recycling, and being able to use those feed sources to make actual applicable products that can be used in asphalt applications for rubber modification. So stay tuned.
Oh,
There'll be more coming out on that as we work with partners to commercialize some technologies coming from that. But we want to be able to offset some of the materials that are out there that might be high hydrocarbon based with some sustainable solutions for feedstocks and waste streams that are readily available. So we're quickly advancing on some technologies there. So hopefully we'll have some good updates here shortly.
Ah, that is awesome. Where can people find all this information? I know they can find it on probably CRRC's website, but what's your website?
Yeah, so our website is ace-laboratories.com. And then we also have a very active LinkedIn account, so you can get spur of the moment updates about where we're at and what we're doing on LinkedIn as well.
That's great. That's great. Well, Erick, thank you so much. This went by so quick. Yeah, this was so informative. Thank you so much. And everyone, go check out the ACE Laboratories directory on rooferscoffeeshop.com as well as askaroofer.com. Go to ace-laboratories.com to learn more. Follow them on LinkedIn, and we'll be road tripping more episodes coming every week. So Erick, thank you again.
Thank you.
If you've enjoyed the ride, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us on every roofing adventure. Make sure to visit rooferscoffeeshop.com to learn more. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next roofing road trip.